had to be naughty. I had to, you know. I'm back. If you want to join me on Facebook, we can go all organic there. But here we are, like polite and professional. And we're getting into the energy of what Venus retrograde for you, Sagittarius, and how it's going to affect you. Now, some of your dreams, obviously, and, you know, your innovation energy, it can be hit and miss. So each time you're trying to moving towards something and you're being creative, it can be innovation-wise. It's a bit frustrating and daunting. And you kind of feel like you're hitting a door. Now, you will find that will form. There is a lot of manifestation in that energy. So it's deeply important for you to understand that Pisces does link into the 12th house, but for you guys, with Neptune being in Pisces, it is in your 4th house. So it sort of feels in an innovation way. No sooner do you have an idea, it kind of shifts and changes. And with the nodes being in Gemini in May, and Venus going retrograde, it does link into marriages, contracts, partnerships. So we're sort of in that Venus element. We're looking at things, but it's in the house of communication. So it does mean communication from the past. It can mean a lot of distorted energies. And, you know, with the 4th house, whoever was mucking with your schedule and your life, it can be sort of coming back and resurrecting, causing conflict as to where you're wanting to move forward. So it can be your mind, it can be your dreams, where I feel this bouncing energy. And I'm also hearing, can you have it all? So it's like looking at your career, looking at your heydays, looking at the things you wanted to do, and then looking back at relationships and trying to balance that thought process, what that means to you. Now, with the nodes moving into Gemini, it does link into your marriages, contracts, and partnership house, and it is highlighted for 2.5 years. So Juno was having Libra was having a solar return. Juno is direct on May 26th. So by the time we're really well and truly, you know, near the end of that month, moving into June 25th, Venus will go direct. We'll also have the cycling out of the nodes. So I'm finding that this transit with Venus retrograde for you guys is going to be very unique. This can be a complete new understanding and a new energy of communication coming in. And I'm feeling it to be very positive, but it's almost like you're alchemizing that energy. And the magician energy has been coming up all morning, where you're making peace with the belief system, you're integrating everything, and we're having the shift to the nodes at the same time. So I do feel with the first week of Venus and Shadow moving into retrograde, you guys potentially are going to be having a little bit of indulgent energy. So the indulgent energy can be reconnecting with people. It can be buying nice things for them, wanting to give, very energetically giving energy. If you find yourself overcompensating, have a look at that. But it might be the whole thing of how do you place it? The art of appreciation, all right? The art of appreciation. But now I don't know if I should reach out or if he's... Yeah, but again, don't get triggered by... Oh, you dag. I mean, I've said to 20, can't go. I'll follow him. I mean, if you know, the person you'd want to be with, you want to know that you are willing, and this is your test. This is really our spiritual test, and a lot of people at the moment on spiritual journeys. Thank you. Spiritual journeys are like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll. The thing is, in any relationship, this is the crazy thing. The traditional aspect of relationships are the good, the bad, the ugly. And you know, if a person passes over, we love them on the other side unconditionally, right? And the whole element of unconditional is, do we love ourselves, say, unconditionally? What are our likes and our dislikes? And if we can hold space for ourselves in that we've reached union with self, then we will have more compassion, understanding, and less expectation on a person to be who they're not. So we're not making somebody what they're not. Now, there is this transfer. Now, some of the things, Sagittarius, that you like to do might be coming back for a re-look. Other things you're going to be looking at, your friendship zone is highlighted in some of your hobbies. But again, you might be communicating, look, I'm feeling like I have to be a certain way in this connection. And these are the things I like to do. It can be a little bit rebellious. It can also be you tapping into those subject matters where you're wanting to hone in on them and you feel that they've kind of gone by the wayside. So it will be more than just a Venus retrograde. We're going to have Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter going retrograde, nodes changing. Moving into June during that time, we're going to have eclipses. So there's a bunch of energy going on. So even though Venus is going to be retrograde, it's in various areas you're going to be assessing. So it's your mind. I'm really feeling a lot of crown chakra and third eye. And tension with that you're going to have to keep quite balanced. You're going to have to keep on your A game. So it's going to prevent us from maybe falling into too much ego. But I'm also sensing that the first week you guys maybe are going to be more expecting, blessings and owning self-worth and very much in the bull energy with Mercury being in Taurus. When Venus has moved retrograde, we're going to have the new moon in Gemini on the 22nd. It's going to be at 2 degrees. The month, beginning of the month, we're going to have the full moon in Scorpio, which almost will be superstition, right? Very Pluto energy. What's being hidden? What's not being shown to me? Now, your crowning energy is the Ten of Swords in reverse. Trusting that whatever's ending is meant to happen. So if, again, I do look at this like an egoic purge, it's like, okay, so if this means it's over, does it really mean it's over? And I keep getting pulled to the Katy Perry song. The old energy and the story you've been telling yourself, yes. The new belief of what you're alchemizing, it's like loosen the hold, let go, allow what's to happen to happen. Some of you guys are ending an old cycle and cutting that old cycle out. Doesn't mean to say it's not balancing out. There is an offer coming here. You've got to be open to, and I do feel a lot of generosity. You've got to be open to these blessings coming towards you. But it's almost gift yourself, and I do feel a lot of nurturing coming through. And I'm feeling a peace. It's almost like I may get those animal totem cards because I just heard the term peace pipe. There's peace coming in. Making peace with the situation that's been hindering you. Some of your emotions have been up and down, and it might have been to do with past tense scenarios, and it doesn't have to be connected to romance. It can be other things. But it's kind of, your subject matter is what connections are, and prayer feather, pretty damn close. It's not seeing the blessings, but I'm feeling peace. With communication coming in, your mind is either this person has it in for you or you have it in for them. But it's like it's old energy that hasn't been cleared up. It's coming back, and I do feel that this Venus retrograde is doing it polar opposite. It's like it's not. You might see the value if you're doing work on yourself initially, but at the beginning it might be very distorted. It might be very independent, very I'm seeing the light. I don't trust you. Are you taking me down a dark path? This happened to me. Have you acknowledged it? It sort of feels that. So whatever the wound is, be it you're in the relationship or not, I do feel because of the Neptune, Uranian aspects being made to Venus in Gemini, it does feel at the moment it's going to come up. So our reactions are going to be coming from that perspective. Now, midway, trying to get everything perfect and controlling the environment is not going to work. It could be other people doing this to you, but I feel it's almost an avoidance of the vibration. So if there's conflict coming up and it hasn't been dealt with energies in general, I'm sort of feeling like there's an avoidance energy going on here. Again, the Scorpion energy, I feel you. It's spirit of air. It's not being shown to you. It's what's hidden. It's like it's come to this. You know something's up. You know something needs to be addressed. It may be either you or another person is ignoring something. You're hoping an energy is going to go away, but you can't close that chapter unless you've made peace with it. And I do feel there's a bit of peace coming here. I mean, you get the point. I knew peace pipe would bloody come up. Peace. Peace. Now the boss is calling. Okay. There's medicine in this, and I feel it's after the moon in Cancer, right? Not necessarily. I'm feeling new moon energy, but it's nighttime energy. You're getting up, you're sensing it. I feel it can be at nighttime, and your ego might be telling you the only reason you're calling it nighttime is X, Y, and Z. But this person has greatest of intent. You need to hear this person out. It's like playing on their mind. They're wanting to talk to you. Even if you're having nighttime conversations with the partnership, and you live with them, it's like maybe needing to take a little bit of time where you guys can sit up at night, especially if you've got kids. Now, you've got to look at where you're going, because this is quite important. There is a breakdown of delusions versus the path. Crossed wires, I'm feeling. The trickster energy is here, but vision and quest is here. So for some of you on a spiritual path, it can be to do with the past and, where the betrayal was, where the hurt was, conversations of this, fear-based frequency that you're off path and maybe this is all delusional. I do feel a lot of conversations happening, and I'm also feeling making peace with it and comprehending it with the 7th house coming up. Some of you, this energy of assets and physical goods and things to that degree, it just feels out of alignment energy, and a lot of honing it down to a point where you're getting back to basics. You had other things going on. You're trying to make peace with the past, and this doesn't have to be to do with the relationship. But some of you, I really don't feel it is. I feel it's an old energy, a belief system you held, trying to make peace with the past, talking, breaking it down, explaining how you're feeling. Trusting your intuition. Even if you're waking up at night, it's asking you to sit with your energy and check in with yourself. Because these things that are unresolved are coming up, and it's going to be attracted to you to heal. Who is this person, please, for those of you that are single? What are their intents? And then I'll have to have a 10-15 minute break, and then I'll come back for the last one. Okay, make sure if you're getting a phone call, you answer it. Because it's saying, and I'm going to pull a clarifier on that one before I explain. Bloody computer. It wants to reset myself. Okay, it's saying answer the call. Some of you may have missed a call. Some of you are thinking, is this person going to level up? That are single, okay? Because I do all the reads for different energies. Okay, the question is, are they focused on business? Yes. This could be you or them. But it's getting back on track, and I do feel, like I said, you've got many hands and honeypots. You have a lot to address. There's an emotion of the past, and I do feel for some of you, again, the energy of life, death, etc. is coming up. Where's your 8th house? I'm wondering when that's going to come up for you. Let me look, because I'm feeling Pluto energy. Why am I? Scorpio, 12th house. That's why. Don't let yourself get undone. Psychologically speaking, bear in mind the full moon in Scorpio for you guys is going to land in your 12th house. So I'm feeling almost like old energies and karmic energies potentially that you feel it in. They're going to be shown to you. So if you have a spiritual blockage, that's around the time you're going to find it. So it won't just be in an egoic sense, but like, oh my God, somebody's hiding something from me. It'll be hidden from you too. So at a spiritual level, you may uncover something, but you'll be highly intuitive then as well. But it is your 12th house, so use it healthily. Don't use it in a paranoia sense. Use it in a healthy demeanor for you to articulate what's coming through. Get grounded before we move into this, because I do feel this is really great energy. Answering the call, in a sense, it's a pause, but I feel it's more occurring now. Go, like I said, get grounded, because you need to go with the flow with this energy. Because what is coming in are your hopes and dreams. But it's leveling up to a point you move towards them. But you've got to finalise and close doors. But these can be healing doors, and I do feel that's really relevant. So it's coming through in a communication sense. Some of you are going to be sitting up into the wee hours talking to people over the phone and reaching out to people. But this is getting you back on your path, back on your spiritual path with this individual. Be it coupled or single, this is the way it's going. I do feel a lot of communication though. A lot of breaking it down to understand where each other are coming from so that you guys can recreate this new dream. But it is a new dream. You may be talking about the past, what the dreams were, but it's shifted. It's going to shift and it's going to be a new story. Love and light. Oh, cool. Make sure you're right after.